Parent visas can take up to 15 years to be granted. And there is one really big mistake that people make with a short-term visa and trying to get a longer-term visa. Ivy here will walk you through those options. You have a relatively unique perspective because you also did this for your parents.
Yeah. So my background is Burmese, and for everyone who don't know, the country is kind of in a civil war situation at the moment. The politics are bad, which means the tourist 600 visas have been really difficult for people in Burma, and I was having difficulties renewing the 600 visas for my parents. So for anyone who resonates with coming from a more challenging country to get visas, I think the parent visas are a good option. So the 143 is a permanent contributory parent visa, and there is a huge fee associated with it, which is around $50,000 per parent, but it is permanent residency. So once your parents get it, they can enjoy all the perks here, Medicare, they can live here permanently. Yeah. The only kind of catch is that it has a wait time of 15 years at the moment.
15 years?
Yeah, so which is why I've done an 870 parent visa for my parents temporarily. So that's also a sponsored parent visa, but it lets your parents stay in Australia for up to 10 years. So you can apply for 3 years or 5 years, and then you can keep extending until it gets up to 10 years.
Did you have to pay the $50,000 up front?
No, so we paid about $5,000 for the first installment, which is currently now about $6,300 because the fees have increased since July 2026. Yeah. So currently, I think you have to pay $6,300 for one parent for the first installment, and then you pay the rest.
Yeah, closer to when it's getting approved, which is I think 15 years. So you can't take your parents from a parent visa to an 870 to then a 143. You've got to go from tourist visa to 143, then 870.
That's correct. Once you're on an 870 visa, you cannot apply for 143. So you have to wait until that 870 expires. So what we usually recommend is it's better to put in your parents' name for the 143 first, and then you can apply for the 870 temporarily while you're waiting for the 143 to be granted.
Look, I really appreciate you speaking about this because obviously being in law as a lawyer, it's one thing to represent your clients, but it's another thing to represent your parents, right? So it's a pretty personal thing. Parent visas have become a lot more important to me because my father passed away in December last year. He was in Sydney. I got to spend a lot of time with him before he passed away. And at Rocket and Ash, it wasn't really a big category of work that we did. So this is something more for me than just doing a visa. You know, having the ability to see my father in his last days was really, really important to me. And I think it's something people deserve to have. I can't imagine going through that. And I've got friends who have got parents overseas and they've got to fly back and forth. And yeah, I can't imagine that. So I feel this is something really important to us.
I think what you said would resonate with a lot of people, Jay. I feel like before I got this visa from them, I would fly back to see them. And it made me sad about how much older they looked every time I went back to see them. Like their hair is getting a lot wider. I think I'm just too busy living my life that sometimes I forget they're also getting older. So having them around to be with me for longer years has been a great opportunity, and I'm really grateful for that. If you are in a similar situation like I have been with my parents, if you come from a country that you're finding difficult to get a 600 visa, or even if you're Burmese and you would like to have a Burmese lawyer who can help you navigate through this process, reach out to our team at Rocket and Ash, and we promise we'll do our best to help you.